Right, thank you for buying your wilderness search and rescue decals. Some of you'll see you got two different decals. You got this one, which has got the white transfer paper on the front, and that's made for applying to glass. And then you got the plain ones, which have got a clear backing. If you can see the clear backing, that's made for, it will work on glass as well, but it's also made for sticking to bodywork. And the reason for that is if you want to remove reflective vinyl from bodywork at any time, it's very difficult to do it if it's just the reflective, because it comes off in a million little pieces. So before you start applying your decal, there's a couple of things you need to do and have. So you need to make sure that your vehicle or glass is clean, free of dirt and grease and any little bits and pieces that will stand up under the decal. So give the bodywork a wipe. Then you're also going to want a sharp knife and squeegee, or you can use a credit card or anything flat. That's to apply the decal, and then some masking tape. This is painter's masking tape, but any masking tape will work. So I'm quickly going to show you first. I'm going to do both decals. Let's do the glass one first, and once we've done the glass one, we'll go and apply one to the body. Alright, so let me put that over there. Alright, so when we apply the decal to glass, position it on the glass wherever you want to. I'm not going to do exact lining up, but you can do it by eye, and just use a couple of pieces of masking tape to position the decal as you want to. Like something like that. You can use a tape measure to center it. As I say in this video, I'm not going to center it exactly, but you will get the idea. So once you've positioned the decal perfectly, you can always remove these pieces, move it around, straighten it up a bit. Take a step back from the vehicle if you can, have a look at it. Preferably have the vehicle on flat ground, not on a slope. But once you're happy, we're going to form something that they call a hinge using the masking tape. So what a hinge is going to be is along the top edge, we stick this masking tape. You can stick another section just to be safe. Now what that's going to do is make sure it doesn't do this, because whatever movement there is on your hinge is going to come in your final positioning. So you can lift that up. Don't rush this like me, because that's when you have mistakes. So final position, get your hinge in place. That will work. You can then remove your positioning pieces, and that's what we call a hinge. So now the decal can flap up and down. Alright, get your tools in place, because this is crunch time. With reflective, you've only got one chance. You can't remove it from the surface, which is why you need to be sure your prep is correct. So lift the carrier paper, or the transfer tape rather, lift it, make sure the entire decal comes off. Alright, drop that down, and now we've got one chance to do this. With your squeegee or flat thing, go down the center first and then work outwards. So we press firmly down, applying the decal down the center. There we go, and then squeegee outwards. There we go. That's it. Remove your hinge. Remove the tape. And finally remove your transfer tape. Fold the transfer tape over like this, flat, and at a 45-degree angle, tear away. That's fine. There you go. And your decal is in place. You can give it a final wipe with your, try not to use something that will scratch. That's it, decal's in place. Alright, so that's onto glass. Why you don't use the backing on here, if you want to remove this from the glass, take a flat standing knife. Something that won't scratch your glass, but a nice sharp edge will remove that quite easily. Alright, let's go onto the bodywork one over there. That's the decal over here. Very similar process, but there's a bit of prep here. And what I've carefully done is I've cut the backing, or the carrier paper. I've cut a slit in it. You can do this after as well, but if you can very carefully just cut the paper without cutting the decal. I'll show you why we're going to do that. So position your decal using masking tape again. That's fine like that. You'll see that's where the cut line is. I'm still going to install a hinge, but my hinge is just going to be in a different place. I'm going to hinge just below the cut I made in the carrier paper. Alright, so what's going to happen is I'm now able to remove that and hinge like that. See what's happening there? I'm going to hinge, I'm going to remove this paper, stick that down, and then flap that one up and stick it down. So it's a two-part process. Okay, so let's do this. I've positioned, I'm happy with the position forward, backwards. As I said, the measurement and the alignment, that's a skill I can't teach, I'm sorry. Alright, so let's remove the backing paper, off she comes. And now, from the center, along the center, I squeegee, 45-degree angle back. Okay, perfect, she's done. And then I do the same along the bottom. I can remove that now. I can remove my carrier paper from the back. Be careful on this where there's a little bit of a change in the shape. Make sure it doesn't tear off. Alright, and down the center. Down the center. There she goes. You see I had a second chance there because I've got vinyl on the back of this one. Something that if it's just reflective on the window you wouldn't have a chance to do. There she goes. That's over there. Remove that. And that's the business.